every member of Radiohead turned into a scholar at Oxfordshire's Abingdon School. O'Brien and Phil Selway have been the eldest, observed with the aid of a 12 months via Thom, Yorke and Colin Greenwood. These four musicians started gambling in 1985, dubbing themselves on a Friday, and before long they delivered Colin's more youthful brother Jonny, who'd formerly played in Illiterate Hands with Yorke's brother Andy and Nigel Powell. Jonny began on keyboards but moved to guitar, yet this incarnation proved short-lived. By 1987, every person but Jonny left for university, wherein many members pursued track, but it wasn't until 1991 that the quintet regrouped and started gigging often in Oxford. Eventually they came to the eye of Chris Hufford, then high quality known as the manufacturer of shoegaze stars Slowdive, who provided the organization the risk to report a demo along with his associate Bryce Edge. The two quickly became the band's managers. Emmy bit on the organization's demo, signing them in 1991 and suggesting they trade their call. On a Friday have become Radiohead, and they recorded their debut EP Drill with Hufford and Edge, freeing the report in May 1992. Next the group entered the studio with producers Paul Coldery and Sean Slade to record their complete period debut. The first fruit from those classes turned into Creep, a single released in the UK in September of 1992. Creep didn't move everywhere at the start. The British track weeklies slagged it, radio didn't play it, and it limped to range 78 on the charts. Pablo Honey, the band's full-length debut, appeared in February 1993, supported with the aid of the single Anyone Can Play Guitar. However, neither launch gained a whole lot traction in their native UK, and that May's non-LP Unmarried Pop Is Dead failed to assist matters a whole lot either. By that factor, however, Creep commenced to benefit interest in other territories. First, the music have become successful in Israel, but the larger waves got here from the United States, which changed into inside the throes of the opportunity rock revolution. Influential San Francisco radio station Kits added Creep to their playlist, and it unfolded along the West Coast and onto MTV because it have become an authentic hit, almost topping Billboard's modern rock chart and reaching 34 at the Hot 100, a huge success for a British guitar band. A relaunched Creep turned into a British top 10 hit, peaking at Wide Variety 7 inside the autumn of 1993. The band, who'd had no achievement, had greater than it can manage. Radiohead saved visiting Pablo Honey into 1994, however no subsequent hits were impending, elevating the specter of the band as a possible one-hit marvel, a criticism that weighed closely at the organization, who had been tense to document their new songs. They received the opportunity early in 1994, coming into the studio to paintings with manufacturer John Leckie, then Nice, recognized for his work with the Stone Roses with My Iron Lung, an EP launched in overdue 1994, being the first tune launched from the sessions. Muscular and formidable, the EP provided an excellent indication of what might come on 1995's The Bends. Released in March 1995, The Bends now not best located Radiohead growing musically. It become dense and expansive without skimping on songs, but additionally in popularity as critics within the UK embraced the band with the target market sooner or later, following none of the primary three singles High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, just rose above 17 at the UK charts, but the final single Street Spirit wound up accomplishing 5 in early 1996. Radiohead's upward push may additionally were assisted by way of the mania cultivated by way of Britpop, a term that failed to quite inshape the band. They were some distance artier and rock-oriented, however, those stoked interest in indie guitar bands, which the quintet virtually was. Over inside the US, the Bends stalled out at 88 at the Billboard charts, however the file won a cult following among listeners and the band never stopped traveling, taking North American beginning slots for REM in 1995 and Alanis Morissette in 1996. During 1995 and 1996, the institution recorded New Cloth with Nigel Godrich, an engineer on the Bends sessions, who changed into now the band's manufacturer, with songs slowly creeping out during the root of the year. Lucky confirmed up on Warchild's 1995 charity LP. The Help album talk show host appeared on A B Aspect, and Exit Music showed up at the soundtrack to Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. The latter showed up on OK Computer, the June 1997 album that proved pivotal in Radiohead's career. Paranoid Android, a twitchy suite launched as a single in May of that 12 months, advised the ambition of OK Computer, and through attaining number 3, it changed into the band's biggest hit to this point within the UK, putting them at the cusp of a step forward. A step forward is precisely what OK Computer grew to become out to be, a report that proved pivotal not just for Radiohead, however, for the direction of 90s rock. Greeted with enthusiastic reviews and corresponding sturdy sales, OK Computer closed the doors at the hedonism of Britpop and the dour after results of grunge, even as establishing a new direction to sober, adventurous art rock where electronics coexisted with guitars. Over the following couple of years, the band's impact would come to be with no trouble apparent, but the album made a massive effect upon its launch, debuting at Primary in the UK and incomes a Grammy for Best Alternative Album. Radiohead supported it with an worldwide excursion, documented in Meeting People Is Easy. By the time Meeting People Is Easy confirmed up in theaters, the group started paintings on their fourth album Another Time, reuniting with producer Godrich. The resulting Kid A doubled down at the experimentalism of OK Computer, embracing electronics and threading in jazz. Appearing in October in 2000, Kid A became one of the first foremost albums to be pirated through report-sharing offerings, but this bootlegging had no obvious impact at the income of the document. It debuted at Primary inside the UK and the US, turning into their first American chart topper. Once again, the album took domestic the prize for Best Alternative Album on the Grammys, and even though it did not produce any hit singles, certainly no singles have been launched from the document, it becomes certified platinum in numerous territories. Amnesiac, a set of recent material initiated for the duration of the Kid A periods, regarded in June of 2001, topping the UK charts and attaining 2 in the US. 2 singles have been pulled from the album: Pyramid Song and Knives Out, a signal that the album became more commercially handy than its predecessor. At the end of the 12 months, the band issued I Might Be Wrong live recordings, and by the summer of 2002 they turned their attention to recording a brand new album with Godrich. The resulting Hail to the Thief appeared in June of 2003, all over again debuting inside the top reaches of the worldwide charts: Primary within the UK and Variety 3 within the US, and the organization supported the album with live dates culminating in a headlining look on the 2004 Coachella Festival that coincided with the discharge of the B Facets and remix series Calm Lag, a report that helped close out their contract with EMI. Over the next couple of years, Radiohead entered a hiatus as participants pursued solo tasks. Yorke launched the closely electronic solo collection The Eraser in 2006, and Jonny Greenwood embarked on a side career as a composer, beginning with 2004's Body Song and then hanging a fruitful collaboration with Paul Thomas Anderson for 2007's There Will Be Blood. Greenwood could also work on Anderson's next films The Master and Inherent Vice. During all this, the group tentatively chipped away at their first published EMI album. Some unsuccessful sessions with Spike Stent led the band back to Godrich by the end of 2006, and the organization finished recording in June of 2007. Still without a file label, they decided to launch the album digitally through their reliable internet site, letting customers pay something they wanted for a download of the album. This novel strategy acted as the album's personal advertising maximum. Of the articles about the discharge claimed to become modern and in rainbows allegedly moved over 1 million downloads on the first day of its release in October 2007. In December, the album acquired a physical launch within the UK, observed by way of a January 2008 physical launch inside the US. The document offered well, debuting at Primary in the UK, and it earned Grammys for Best Alternative Music Album and Best Boxed or Special Limited Edition Package. Radiohead toured in aid of In Rainbows into 2009, at some stage in which period EMI launched Radiohead The Best of in June of 2008. The band took break day in 2010, which allowed Yorke to shape a band referred to as Atoms for Peace with producer Godrich and Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. During this time, drummer Phil Selway launched his debut solo album Familial. By early 2011, the institution completed a new album and, like In Rainbows earlier than it, Radiohead first of all launched The King of Limbs digitally through their website. The downloads regarded in February, with the physical copies appearing in March. The album reportedly shifted upwards of 400,000 virtual copies upon its release. That autumn brought the release of the remix album TKOLRMX 1,234,567, and the band continued to excursion The King of Limbs cloth into 2012. Once the excursion wrapped up, the group took some quiet time as a new round of solo projects appeared. Atoms for Peace launched amok in February 2013, and Yorke positioned out Tomorrow's Modern Boxes in September 2014, only a month before Selway issued his 2D album Weatherhouse. In the autumn of 2014, the band started work on a new album and continued to report throughout 2015, releasing Handiest Spectre, a proposed James Bond topic rejected via the filmmakers that year. The ninth Radiohead album, A Moon-Shaped Pool, regarded on May 8, 2016, proceeded in advance in the week through the singles Burn the Witch and Daydreaming. Radiohead supported a moon-shaped pool with a worldwide tour, and in June of 2017 they celebrated the 20th anniversary of OK Computer with a double-disc reissue dubbed OK Not OK. Featuring a host of bonus cuts and previously unreleased cloth, its quantity displaying at the UK charts turned into bolstered by way of a major televised live overall performance at Glastonbury. Over the next year, Selway, Yorke, and Greenwood each issued movie soundtracks, with the latter earning an Oscar nomination for his rating to Phantom Thread. The band changed into inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019, and in 2021 they issued Kid Amnesia, a set of formerly unreleased fabric from the Kid A and Amnesiac classes.